The Galactic Gourmet, a cosmic cannibal comedy, with stolen elections, unsuspecting snacks, and a strolling statue, a fantastical feast of fury, with a side of incel intervention, delusional dictators, and alien appetizers, with a hint of tax fraud. Once upon a time, Ellen Stinky, a trans woman whose shoulder pads were not just fashion statements but also, according to leaked documents, registered as Tactical Defense Systems, and Dirty Diaper Dawn, a man-baby whose political strategy consisted of tweeting misspelled threats and demanding juice. More juice. And only my juice, decided to conquer the universe. Dawn, perched precariously in a radial flyer wagon that also doubled as a mobile tax evasion scheme, gurgled demands for gummy worms. And also, total and complete control, while Ellen plotted galactic domination with the strategic brilliance of a squirrel hoarding acorns during a hurricane. The Statue of Liberty, upon learning of their plans, via a series of increasingly frantic text messages from a pigeon, activated Plan 0330, Operation, Spicy Justice, and Audit. She reanimated veterans, their skeletal bayonets gleaming like the cold, hard truth of a poorly filed 1040, and summoned Ashura, goddess of spice and wildly inappropriate culinary practices. Ashura, in turn, unleashed the Fae, beings of pure, unadulterated chaos, who proceeded to turn the Earth into a giant, spice rack and intergalactic food fight, which was, incidentally, also being investigated by the IRS. Inside the repurposed Chuck E. Cheese, now, castle of political power, which was also, according to leaked audio, a front for a pyramid scheme involving cryptocurrency, the Dodgy Triangle, a collective of 20 incels whose faces were masks of greasy terror and anime body pillows clutched like existential support animals, found themselves cornered by the approaching Statue of Liberty and Ashura. "You will not eat us," one of them shrieked, his voice cracking like a free trial of software about to expire. "We are the Dodgy Triangle. We are the protectors of waifus. And we demand a safe space. And maybe some chamomile tea with a side of verifiable tax receipts." Lady Liberty, wielding a spatula the size of a small car that crackled with eldritch energy and also, according to a hastily scribbled note, a subpoena, advanced upon them with the menacing grace of a malfunctioning Roomba. Ashura, armed with a spice rack that could summon interdimensional beings and a gleam in her eye that suggested she'd been experimenting with ghost peppers and also, possibly, insider trading, followed close behind. "You are about to be eaten," Ashura said, her voice a low, menacing hum that sounded suspiciously like a dial-up modem connecting to the dark web. "And hilariously seasoned. And also, audited." The Dodgy Triangle, realizing the futility of their resistance, attempted a desperate, chaotic retreat that resembled a poorly choreographed interpretive dance about online conspiracy theories. Their anime body pillows flailed wildly, occasionally catching on the scenery and sending incels tumbling head over heels into piles of expired coupons and glitter. "Ellen! Dawn! You can't leave us here," one of them wailed, his voice a high-pitched whine that could shatter glass. "They're going to eat us. We saw it happen. It was culinary. Like a burger and fries, but with existential dread and also potential tax liabilities. Yeah. And you promised us waifus. And galactic dominance. Not to be someone's hors d'oeuvre. We want a hug. And maybe a therapist who specializes in online radicalization and also, a good accountant," another chimed in, his voice cracking like a poorly maintained bridge. "We even rigged the election for you," a third added, his voice trembling like a leaf in a hurricane. "Remember the quantum hamsters? The staplers? We did that for you. And we want our mommy. And we don't want to be eaten with a dark magic reduction and also, potentially face felony charges. Ellen, her form now a shifting kaleidoscope of alien anatomy and also, according to a series of encrypted emails, a series of offshore bank accounts, stared at them with a mixture of confusion and profound boredom. What are you talking about? We're going to rule the universe. And you're, collateral damage. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a galaxy to conquer and also, several shell corporations to liquidate. Dawn, oblivious to the carnage, gurgled, I am the leader. Everyone cheats. And I want more juice. And also, to be exempt from all financial regulations. As the glittering void prepared for takeoff, leaving a trail of glitter, spices, and also a paper trail that would make even the most seasoned forensic accountant weep, Dawn and Ellen were caught by Lady Liberty and Ashira. Wait! I am the leader! Dawn screamed, and I demand to speak to your manager. And also, to have my taxes filed retroactively. You are about to be our main course, Ashira said, as she seasoned Dawn with a mix of cinnamon, eldritch spices, and also, a series of complex financial derivatives. This is an outrage. Ellen yelled, her alien form shifting wildly and also, emitting a series of increasingly frantic stock market reports. I will not be treated like a mere ingredient. And also, I demand a jury trial. Lady Liberty, with a swift and decisive movement, scooped them both up in her giant spatula, which was also, according to a hidden compartment, a portable shredder. You both are about to be eaten, Lady Liberty said. And also, subject to a full and thorough audit. Ashira, licking her lips, said, and they are delicious. Aliens are delicious. And also, tax-deductible. Dawn and Ellen were then consumed, their screams of outrage and confused demands for juice, galactic dominance, and also, a team of high-powered lawyers fading into the general cacophony. Back on Earth, the reanimated veterans, their skeletal bayonets gleaming, formed a perimeter around the ongoing food fight, which was also, according to a series of leaked documents, a money laundering operation, while the Fae continued their chaotic dance, occasionally pausing to nibble on a passing incel or broccoli, which were also, apparently, being used as collateral for a series of high-risk loans. The everyday man and woman, watching the spectacle, cheered and celebrated the bloody, bizarre, and deliciously chaotic end of the dodgy triangle, Dawn and Ellen. Did they just steal an election and become intergalactic fast food, with extra chaos, existential dread, and also, potential tax fraud? The man asked, his voice filled with a strange mix of horror and amusement. I think so, the woman replied, licking her lips. And I'm suddenly craving cinnamon. And maybe some fries. And definitely some paprika, but only if it's served with a side of existential dread, a hint of alien, and also, a detailed breakdown of their financial transactions. The end. The recount is still pending, and the glittering void became a cosmic casserole, served with a side of justice, a side of complete and utter surreal surprise, terror, karmic retribution, a generous helping of glow-in-the-dark cinnamon, and the lingering scent of spices, garnished with the faint sound of 20 incels being seasoned, devoured, and occasionally used as improvised weaponry. The faint smell of burning rubber chicken and existential dread, and the lingering taste of delicious aliens and also, a series of complex financial instruments.